Hey guys, Ken here. Just wanted to show you a few updates to my Anomaly Drones Mosquyto. I normally film inside, but it's so nice out today. It's been kind of rainy for the last few days. I decided to come outside and set my camera up out here. Anyway, I wanted to show you a few things that I did to my Mosquyto. One was I changed to a Lumenier 30 amp ESC with a current sensor. I like having a current sensor because I like to be able to use the telemetry on the Taranis to let me know how many milliamp hours have been consumed. I think that's still the best way to determine when your battery is at the proper rate of or proper point of discharge. And I installed it here with a Lumenier Lux flight controller. And I think a lot of people wonder, why would you use a Lumenier Lux flight controller? It doesn't have that many features. It's not like an all-in-one or anything, and it's kind of expensive. Well, yeah, it is kind of expensive, but I guess when you're building a ProSight machine, you know you're spending some money anyway. So I like the Lux because I like the form factor of it, and I like the fact that it's a good quality piece, and I like the fact that it has one of the less noise sensitive gyros. And so I decided to give it a shot. I've tried lots of different flight controllers, and the last one I was using was the Ready-Made RC Seriously Dodo. That one's getting a little bit outdated, and it only can do 4K, and the Lux can do 8K, and I wanted to see if that would help with prop watch and such. So we'll see how it turns out. And I just wanted to point out a few other things that I did on this build that I thought are interesting and or important. And one of the things that has been lacking on some previous builds that I've done is any kind of protection for the ESC for when the connector gets yanked on in a crash. And so what I did here is I ran the wires through the frame there. So I ran the connector wires through the frame. The strap still goes through there behind them and out the other side. And I used a zip tie to secure that by drilling a couple of holes in the edge of the frame. You see that? And so if this connector gets pulled on when you crash, it's not going to rip the ESC pads off, which, I mean, these ESCs are not ultra cheap, so you don't want to be ripping the pads off. So that's a little thing that I did where I ran the wires down and through and poked them out the other side with a zip tie to secure them in a little piece of heat shrink so it doesn't pinch the wire itself. Another thing I did was I got these Emacs motors. I've also been using the F60 Pro 2200, which is a little bit higher than 2200 tested kV. I also wanted to try these Emacs 2306 motors because after looking at the data on them, they appear to be a pretty high efficiency motor, and they're built well. They have 4mm bearings and a hollow shaft and a screw retainer and all this kind of stuff that I really like. And so just another set of motors to try out and compare to the F60 Pro. I bet you from the type of flying I do, I might not even be able to tell the difference. But anyway, the other couple of things I wanted to mention was I got away from using extra connectors for the ProSight power supply. I got rid of the extra connector because this is so easy to route. I mean, you connect up the ProSight connector once the pod is on, so it really is just easy. I've actually got a little bit of extra wire here, but it makes it very easy to connect and disconnect the whole pod. Just pops right on there when it's ready, and the pod contains the whole ProSight system. And the way the receiver mounts is just sort of sits in here just like this. It just kind of lays in there under the video transmitter. There's nowhere for it to go. It looks like it's loose right now, but there's really nowhere for it to go, so it ends up being fairly secure once the thing is all put together. And if anybody has some good ideas on where to mount the buzzer, I hate buzzers, but I want a buzzer in case I lose the model. I always end up zip tying it in some weird, awkward location, and I just hate that. It's so ugly. But I don't know a better way to mount the buzzer. So I've been having a really good time flying this Anomaly Drones Mosquyto. This is the Mosqyto Raptorial. I've been flying this with the F60 motors, the Seriously Dodo FC, and the Aikon 30 amp ESC. I switched to this Lumenier, like I said, for the current sensor, which is nice for telemetry. So we'll see how it flies. Just wanted to do a quick update on some of these new components. So happy flying.